Hi everyone, I'm Needlecraft Annie. This is flosstube number 99 and today I have cross stitch and crochet for you. First of all, I wanted to say basically over the last 2 or 3 days I noticed my number of subscribers went really high. I think I'm now close to 1,000, so thank you very much for that. And because there were so many new subscribers in such a short time, I think someone might have shouted me out. I have not seen anyone doing that. So to whoever it was, thank you very much. So welcome to everyone new to my channel. Welcome to all the returning viewers. And I hope you like it. I have a whole lot of projects lying next to me. So we better get started, especially because I want to do a little bit of crochet in the end. So first, as I most times do, let's start with treble stitching. My treble stitching at the moment is the Hello Sunshine Cell by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. The last part is finally released, so we have now the full picture. That's it. Part number 5 is the bee and a lot of leaves around that. So that is the last part, and I have started the last part. So first of all, I show you a picture of what it looked like last time with part number 4 completely finished. And this is where I'm at right now. Super happy with how far I got. I basically stitched on this one for one day while a friend was visiting. We went to a different part of my house, so a part where normally you don't stitch, and so I don't have all my stuff up there, and decided to just take my treble stitching project because that's all in one bag. It's not a whole lot I have to take, especially because I have a thread card for all the colors I need on this project. Therefore, it was just easier to take this one with me instead of one of my main projects. So I took that. And also, she's stitching on the Hello Sunshine Cell as well. So it was kind of cool to see our different approaches on this one. Because I basically went through the color list from top to bottom. I did not get to the bottom, but I started in the top. And just took the first color, stitched it everywhere it was missing, and then moved on to the next color. She just started in the top and moved her way along to the bottom with finishing the small motifs and leaves as she goes. So it was kind of cool. We stitched for the same amount of time and our projects looked a whole lot different afterwards. So yeah, that's stuff I really like. But basically that's where I got to. I think I finished 3 colors, and started a 4th one. So, and that was a really big color. That's the light blue over here. I have started the next leaf. That's a really big leaf. So yeah, that will be the next I'm stitching on. This one is stitched on the 28 count 1/1 4 crosses, needleminder from Bankai Designs. Yeah, really happy about that. I mentioned it in my last video, as now the last part of this one is released. When I have finished this one, I will have finished 3 out of 4 of the trees of the series. So my last one missing is the Hello Petal tree, which is the spring tree. And with the friend I just mentioned, we're going to start a stitch along for the Hello Petal tree on the 28th of October with the first part. We have decided on 5 parts for the whole tree. We drew it into our charts. I will share that in my next video, and so you can join if you like. On the 28th of October, we're going to start with our first part. Because first of all, we both want to finish the Hello Sunshine Cell. And we're starting on the 28th of October and doing 1 part every month. we're continuing the same way this one was stitched, and also our last part will be released on the 28th of February, so perfect timing for then having the spring tree ready for spring. Yeah, so as I said, this is my Hello Sunshine cell. It will be my treble stitching piece. It will continue as my treble stitching piece. I'm just not sure if I will get any treble stitching this week. So if I won't get any treble stitching this week, that's not a problem, because I still have quite a bit of time to actually finish this part. Yeah, so that's that. Then last week I told you one of my projects had its birthday, and I wanted to stitch on it for about half an hour to kind of celebrate that. The project in question is the Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework. That's the finished piece, and I'm presently in band number 10, which is this Specialty Stitches band in here. So I'll show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So not a whole lot, but as I said, I just wanted to stitch on it for about half an hour. In the end, I did about 40-45 minutes to finish my thread, and I stitched or continued to stitch in those, I think, windmill stitches, crossed windmill stitches, something like that. Just continued with those, and that's it. This one is stitched on a 32 count white opalescent linen by Belfast, I think. The needleminder is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and I'm stitching with the called for dinky dies. In the chart there's a conversion for dinky dies, 4 DMC and 1 for Obrera Soie. I decided for the dinky dies, and am now stitching 1/2 full crosses as indicated, and the specialty stitches most times with 1 strand as well. In this band there are satin stitches, and those are actually stitched 2 strands. But I bring it a little bit closer so you can actually see those specialty stitches in this band. For this band I have to continue with those windmill stitches, and then I will repeat first those stitches and then those satin stitches on the outside with the color I'm stitching the windmill stitches in, which is kind of similar to the one before. But then I will have finished band number 10. For my year-end goal on this one, I want to finish band number 12. So after this one, I still have quite a bit to go. But I'm getting closer, and considering this one got close to no progress last year, I'm really happy with what I did already. So yeah, that's the Twisted Band Sampler. And now let's move to my actual rotation. Because of a lot of new subscribers, I'm going to repeat my normal rotation real quick. Basically, every week I have 5 projects. One is a piece I stitch on every day a little bit. I try to get a target time of about half an hour to an hour, depends on the project, if I go after time or if I take 2 lengths of thread, something like that. Then I have one of my full coverage pieces. I go through all of them alphabetically. Then I have a full coverage Fancy Lady, which basically are out of those full coverage pieces, my Fancy Ladies, that I go through alphabetically as well. So they are in both of those categories. And then I have non-full coverage piece as well, going through all my non-full coverage pieces alphabetically, and a non-full coverage Fancy Lady. Same thing as I have with the full coverage pieces. Those Fancy Ladies are in both categories, and both times I'm rotating alphabetically. With my non-full coverage Fancy Ladies, I at the moment only have 2 left. I have already finished one completely this year, and for another one I have finished my year goal, so I'm not going to stitch on this one anymore, and therefore I have 2 Fancy Ladies in my non-full coverage Fancy Lady category left. So they come around quite frequently. Okay. Let's start with my daily piece. Last week that was Tiger Chilling Out by Dimensions, and I told you I basically want to stitch until I get 50 stitches. If I'm at 49, I start a new thread, and then I finish the thread, and then I'm probably above 50 stitches, but that's fine for me. I want to finish my thread, want to finish a color. I started stitching on this one, and every time with my first length of thread I came around 45 to 49 stitches. So in the end I just went with 2 lengths of thread until, yeah, and not counting my stitches anymore, because normally I don't count my stitches on this project, but I did for the daily amount thing. But in the end I just went with 2 lengths of thread to not have to count anymore. So this is tiger chilling out. I show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to, and I'm so happy because I finished all the 4 crosses in the top half of the design. This year I want to finish the top half of the design, and I finished all the 4 crosses. So yeah, really happy about that. Basically finished off his face. Yeah, I'm super happy. There is now backstitching missing and a little bit of couching missing. I've never done couching for his whiskers, so I will see if I can do that, and otherwise I probably just backstitch them. Should look okay too, so yeah, we will see about that. I will try with the couching first. But I'm really happy that I finished all the 4 crosses. He looks so amazing, and I can't wait to actually finish the backstitching and the couching, because that will make him look even better. As soon as I had finished all the stitches in his face and had some thread left over, I moved over here and continued until the thread ran out. So I did quite a bit over here as well. Happy with that. He stitched on an 18 count black Ada that was in the kit, so I just used the kit fabric. The needle minder is from Danka Designs, and basically the tiger is completely stitched 2/1 full crosses, and the water and reflections below are stitched 1, 2, or 3 strands of half stitch. So yeah, this is my tiger, and as I said, I'm so happy with him. Can't wait to get back to him, and that's a good thing because he will be back this week. So you will see him again in the end, or towards the end when I talk to you about my plans. Okay, so let's move to my full coverage piece of the week. This time it actually was a fancy lady. This is the Story Keep, the Frog Prince by Heaven and Earth Designs. The artwork is by Melanie Dillon. That's the finished piece. And I show you where I was at the last time. So this is where I got to. Really happy. Basically, I finished the diagonal of 10 by 10 blocks, which wasn't super exciting because it was all background. And then I moved up here and started my next diagonal. It was actually, I did not have any more time. I did not really want to stitch anymore. But with stitching this 10 by 10 block, which was kind of fast because it was only 3 colors, I have now reached the top right corner. I have reached my second corner. I'm so happy. That also means that this is now the longest diagonal. The diagonals won't get any longer anymore. They are 2,000 stitches long, so that's quite a bit. But they won't get any longer. And I have a whole lot of fabric left that I don't use. But I will leave it there and just think about a project I may want to stitch on there. So yeah, that's why I won't cut it, because maybe I only have about 2 inches of margin left if I want to use that part. So that's kind of the reason I still leave the fabric on. This is a 32 count light blue linen, and I'm stitching 2/110 stitch needleminder from Danka Designs, and I bring it a little bit closer. So that's basically what I stitched, and yeah. Can't wait to get back to this, because next time I stitch on this one, I will be continuing this diagonal, and therefore will be getting into her hair once again, and that's, well, not the most exciting part to stitch, but a really exciting part to actually see done. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, this one is a little bit complicated to roll back, but I will get there. Also, I have had a question about how I stitch, so I'm probably going to answer that in the end, so I can show it a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to do that in the end, if I remember. Okay, full coverage Fancy Lady this week, Mini Cinderella, also charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Alexandra Daw. This is the finished piece, and I'm so happy with what I managed to do on this one. So first of all, I show you my starting point. And this is where I got to. I finished autocratic. I'm so happy. This design is charted with Krennic number 4 braid, and it's actually the most used color in this design. This design has only 16 colors. It's not super big. I think about 42,000 stitches overall, so not super big. But the Krennic, there were 7,500 stitches called for. That's way too many. Not going to do that. So I decided I still want a little bit of sparkle. I decided to go with Krennic blending filament and one strand of B5200 to stitch those Krennic stitches. And when I started this week, I had about 800 of those still missing. So I did all of those. I did all of that yesterday. I was kind of looking forward to Sunday because I knew I had nothing to do, and I could stitch a whole lot, and still I was up to around 2 a.m. to actually get it done. But yeah, really happy, really happy. Finished all of this Krennic, and then I moved down here. There are some single stitches down here. And then I had another color that had 21 stitches overall left in this design. It was a B5200, so I had to bobbin out anyways for my blend, and I decided to do those 21 stitches as well. And now 2 colors out of 16 are done. That's amazing. Yeah, really happy about that. Can't wait to get further on this project. Continue stitching on this project. Especially, I have one color that has about 150 stitches, so I want to do that one next. And then I will move through the pages and finish one length of thread on every page before moving on. So I'm really looking forward to that. A little bit more exciting stitching and especially a little bit more color. And yeah, can't wait for that. This one is stitched on a 28 count light blue even weave, and I'm stitching 1/1 4 crosses. Needleminder is from Lenka Designs. And I tried to let you see the sparkle. Not super easy, but I think a little bit you can actually see the sparkle all over here. And yeah, a lot of stitches with this Krennic, which wasn't a whole lot of fun. So maybe that was the reason I wasn't super drawn to this piece. But now that's done, and hopefully I will have a lot of fun stitching on this one from now on. Yeah, because if I ever get to the point where basically all of my goals are finished, I still think about finishing this one for a full coverage finish this year. That would be pretty amazing. So we will see about that. Okay, now let's move to my non-full coverage piece of the week, which this week was Sleepy Hollow by Glen & Place. That's the finished piece, and I show you where I started from last week. And this is where I got to. And I did not do a whole lot on this piece. Sorry, the needle mender just fell. Don't want to lose it. So, yeah, I did not do a whole lot. Basically, I stitched in this border over here. I finished the skull, finished those rows of stitches, and stitched the Krennic in here. And that's it. That's not a whole lot of stitching. I'm kind of disappointed in how much I did not do. I had great plans and a lot of things I wanted to do, and I just did not get around to do it. So that's really sad, but that's the way it is sometimes. I still really much love this piece. It looks amazing, even from a bit further back. I mean, it just looks amazing. But yeah, not as far as I wanted to get. This is stitched on a 28 count casual linen in the colorway Haunted by Pictures Plus. And I'm stitching 2/2 full crosses with the called for anchor colors. There are 3 conversions on here. One is for on the chart, one is for anchor, one is for DMC, and one is for Sullivan's USA. The main colorway this is charted in is anchor, and anchor is easier to get here in Germany than DMC, so why not stitch it in anchor? And I'm really happy with how it's turning out. But yeah, it will take some time. It's a big piece. It doesn't look that big, I think, but it is really, really big. So yeah, next time stitching on this one, I want to finish all the back stitching in here and hopefully also the beads, so I can then move into the middle, because this year I want to finish the first row of pages, which cuts through about here. So basically I then have to fill in the middle after I finish the borders. So this is my Sleepy Hollow. It's now October, so it would be nice if this one came around a little bit more often. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still going to stick with my rotation, not switching it up. Just not feeling like switching it up at the moment, so I'm fine with just continuing the way I do with this one. Okay, non-full coverage Fancy Lady. This week was my Mirabilia. It's the Raven Queen. She is so beautiful. I just love her. So I'll show you a picture of what she looked like last time here. And sorry, this is where I got to. Really happy with that. It's actually not as much as it looks, but I'm still really happy with that. So basically what I did when I got this one out, I was really looking forward to actually stitching on her dress, which I said last time I'm not going to do. But I really felt like stitching on her dress, and then I looked into the colors and realized, oh, I need some Karen Water Lilies for that. And on my DMC I have right next to me on my stitching spot, but all those special colors, like Karen Water Lilies, I don't. So I was like, okay, no, I'm not going to get up to get those, not feeling like that. Let's start with the turret. Yeah, that one needs Karen Water Lilies as well, so I actually got up, but I still kept with my plan and started stitching on the turret. Also, I stitched a lot in the border. I stitched 3 more colors in there, so now there are only the beads missing, and as I said, a little bit on the turret. There's actually 1 row of stitches missing in here that I totally missed, but until I realized I had already finished all of that above, and I'm not going to frog all of that for one row of stitches in the background turret, which you probably don't even notice if I haven't told you. And even now with having told you, I don't know if you can actually see that there's something missing, or if it just looks good as well. So I'm going to keep it that way, not going to frog that. Yeah, I'm really happy with actually how this is turning out. Wasn't sure about it on the chart. It looks a little bit strange, I think, but so far on the fabric, it looks really good. This one is stitched on a 32 count gray Belfast linen. Which gray I don't know. This is a needleminder from Danka Designs, and I'm stitching the chart, or stitching everything, 2/2 full crosses. So yeah, here we go. She is so beautiful, especially her face and her necklace and all that. It's so blingy, but that was a whole lot of work. Yeah, this time it was kind of easy to just stitch on third, stitch away, and I'm really happy with how far I got and how she looks. So yeah, that's my Raven Queen. I'm not sure about her, if I will include her in my plans. She has her birthday next week, so normally I try to stitch about half an hour on my birthday pieces. With her, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe if I get to another piece where I do some beads, I bring her out to stitch on her for a few beads as well and just count that as stitching on her for her birthday. Not sure yet, because I have a whole lot of pieces for next week, and she's kind of a complicated piece to bring out for just half an hour, because I need to carry water lilies, I might need some beads, I might need some cranach. It's just not plain DMC stitching. It's just a little bit more to it. So yeah, not sure if I actually will bring her out, especially because I stitch on her this week, and she will come out next week anyways, because she's one of my 2 non-full coverage fancy ladies. So we will see about that. But just that you know, she actually has her birthday this week. There's another piece that has its birthday this week, but I'm not going to stitch on that one because I have already finished my year-end goal, and that's also one that's not super easy to bring out, so I decided to just leave it. I finished my year-end goal and I'm done with it. Okay, that's everything I stitched on, and I think this video is already so long. But yeah, that happens. So let's move into plans. First of all, as always, I start with my daily stitching piece. One thing I wanted to say with my rotation, those daily pieces are taken out of my WIPGO rotation. So WIPGO is basically a bingo board, 25 squares, and you put your whips on there with goals. You can either do a monthly goal. I actually put my year-end goals on there. So every month, 2 of those projects get called, and the goal is for most people to actually finish those goals in the month they get called in. For me, that's not going to happen with my year-end goals on the board. If I have 2 projects chosen in January, I'm not going to finish 2 year-end goals in January. That's just not going to happen. But therefore, I have a lot of squares that are called but not yet finished. So those daily rotations I always take out of the Tiny Decisions app, which is a random deciding app. I put all those projects that are called but not yet finished into this wheel and just spin it for my daily project. This week, the one chosen is 4 Seasons, Charlotte the Hadman of Designs. The artwork is by Jesse Gierke, I think. And that's what it's going to look like when it's done. So I show you a picture of what it looked like last time. No, I'm not going to show you a picture of what it looked like last time here because I have not stitched on it. So I just show you where I'm at. This one is actually quite a complicated piece to show, but we'll get there. Okay, so I'm stitching this one in 20 by 20 blocks over the whole row or over the whole width of the pattern before I move 1 row down and continue with my 20 by 20 blocks. I finished the first row and am now in the second one. So I bring that part a little bit closer because that's the part I'm actually going to stitch on. So next block will be that one over here. This one is stitched on 25 count even weave. I'm stitching 1/1 4 crosses. Needleminder is from Denka Designs. And with this one, my target goal every day are 50 stitches. I'm going to, if I have a thread on my needle, I'm going to finish that thread until it's run out, or until I'm going to park it in the next 20 by 20 block. So that basically means if I'm at 49 stitches, I'm taking the next thread, and if that next thread has 100 stitches, I'm continuing to do another 100 stitches. And that's fine for me. If I'm at exactly 50, I'm done for the day. So I do at least 50 stitches every day. It might happen that I do close to 100 or even above, but normally I'm around, with that method, I'm around between 60 and 70 stitches every day, averaging. So that's fine for me. So basically, I'm hoping to finish one 20 by 20 block this week. That would be nice. Yeah, that's my daily piece for the week. Sorry, I have to roll everything back up because otherwise it's just getting so annoying to clean up afterwards. And yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to because it's pure chaos. So I have to clean up every time after I show you something. Now, let's move to my full coverage piece of the week. It's actually a piece I did not stitch on for quite some time, so I'm looking forward to getting it out again. The piece is Norwegian Ship and a Sail by Golden Kite. This is the small edition. Golden Kite has something similar as Heaven and Earth Designs have, with their regular, small, and supersized. Golden Kite has small, medium, and large. But yeah, this is the small piece. It has enough detail for me. It still are more than 100,000 stitches, which is a bit more than a normal mini from Heaven and Earth Designs. So I'm fine with that. So this is the finished design. I show you where I'm at. This is actually the week of the long rows. All those super wide pieces this week. That's kind of funny for me. For you, maybe not, but for me it is. So this is where I'm at with this one. Basically, I've finished pages 1, 2, and I think that's 9. And have started with page number 3. I'm stitching this one in columns. I know I get column lines. You can see them on video. I'm fine with that. I'm not even sure I'm ever going to hang this one up in my house anywhere, but I just like the picture and I like stitching it. So I'm fine with column lines. I don't care. So yeah, I'm going to continue stitching on the part threads in this column, hopefully finishing the column. That would be really nice. But especially down here in the sails, it's so confetti heavy. I did quite a bit already down there, but yeah, those sails are confetti hell, but they look amazing. This one is stitched on an 18 count antique white Aida, and I'm stitching 2/1 full crosses. Needleminder from Danka Designs, and yeah, so far it's been kind of boring with just those 3 background pages. So I'm really happy being in those sails, but they are so confetti heavy, you won't believe it. And also, this piece has, I think, more than 200 colors, because a lot of those colors are in there as their own. Then they're as blended colors and blended with 5 different colors, and all of those 5 different colors the color one is blended with are on their solid as well and blended with others. So yeah, a lot of colors, a lot of blended colors, but still the outcome is just amazing. So I do like that. I do like that a lot. Yeah, that's my Norwegian Ship and a Sail. As I said, it's been a while since I stitched on this one, so I'm kind of happy to have it out again. And hopefully, finally, making some good progress on this one. This is one I have stitched, I think, the least so far this year. So it needs some attention. Desperately needs some attention. Yeah, that's that. Now, let's move to my full coverage Fancy Lady of the Week, which this week is a Dragon Dancer, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. The artwork is by Anne Stokes. That's the finished piece. And I show you where I'm at. With this one, I'm talking about getting a page finish, I think, for the last 4 months. And I still haven't gotten the page finish, so hopefully this time. This is where I'm at so far. I have stitched pages 1, 2, and I think 3. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. And page 13, I think. So presently I'm stitching on page 14, hoping to finally finish that page. But there's still so much left to do on this page. And if I go from top to bottom, left to right, with choosing my colors. And if I have a color on my needle, I'm not going to stop as soon as I hit the page break. I'm going to continue with the color until my thread runs out, and then I choose the next color. So it takes longer than you would think, but I really hope to actually get a page finished this week. I highly doubt it, but I hope. This one is stitched on a 32 count Zweigart linen. I'm stitching 2/110 stitch, and yeah, that's that one. So far, a blurry background, so not the most exciting part, but still, I really much like it. So happy with that. With this one, I'm stitching on it the 3rd year now. So I started in 2019, finished page number 1 in 2019. In 2020, I stitched pages 2 and 13 and finished those. So this year it would be really nice to actually get 3 page finishes. With my year-end goal, I won't get that, but it still would be really nice. So that's also one I'm thinking about. If I finish all my goals, maybe I come back to this one and finish another page. But we will see about that. Yeah, that's my dragon dancer. Looks amazing so far. Although it's just blurry background, I really like the look of it. So, and it's a big piece, you can see. It's not completely unrolled, and it's already so much fabric left on here. I think I have 96 pages to do, and so far I have finished 4. Yeah, big piece, and probably with me for a very long time. Now, non-full coverage piece for the week you have seen already, so I'm not going to show you the cover picture anymore. Is Tiger Chilling Up by Dimensions. As I said, I just need backstitch and the whiskers until I have finished my year-end goal. So hopefully, my plan is to have this project as today's main project, to hopefully finish all of that today and having another year-end goal done and putting it away. That would be nice. We'll see about that. Okay, and then non-full coverage Fancy Lady. I already showed you one, so there's only one missing or left. So this is Cinderella Rex Ridges by John Elliott. Basically, in this pattern, you get 2 charts. One is for Cinderella and Rex, one is for Cinderella and Ridges, but you can also combine them, and that's how I'm going to stitch them. Nevertheless, this year my year goal is just to finish Cinderella in Rex. So I show you where I'm at. This is where I'm at with her. With her, I want to continue backstitching because basically Cinderella in Rex has 2 pages of the pattern, 2 pattern pages, and I finished all the 4 crosses on the top page. So I want to finish all backstitching on the top page as well. And then there are some beads missing. I can reach all the places where beads will be. So I would be able to actually finish all the beads in Cinderella and Rex. So that's kind of a goal as well. So backstitching and beads, and when I have time left, of course, some cross stitches. But first of all, I want to start with backstitch and beads. Yeah, she is so beautiful. And on her, I have way too much fabric. You can see it's a super big piece. I don't need that much. I kind of had, I don't know what I did when cutting this piece. I don't know. It just happened the way it happened. And that's fine. I'm just going to finish everything on here and then cut off the bottom part of the design. The way I roll my fabric and store my fabric, it's protected inside, so I do not worry about that. And I don't need it for anything else at the moment because I do not stitch anything else or start anything else at the moment. So I'm fine with that. Okay, quite a few videos back, I had a question about how I stitch, and I answered that in one of my videos before, but I couldn't find it anymore. And if I can't find it anymore, how am I supposed to, or how is someone of you supposed to find it in my videos? So I decided to show you again. Basically, all my projects are rolled like this, and I store them like this. So far, just on a shelf, not protected from sunlight and dust. I'm not happy about that, but I have bought everything I need to change that. As soon as I have changed that, I will show you. So all rolled like this with the hairpiece, holding them together. You can see this is the outside of my stitching. So the inside is inside the roll and protected. And when I stitch in hand. I do not use any hoops or any Q-snaps or something like that. I just stitch in hand and I just unroll it. With my left hand, I hold it like this. So my thumb is on the front, the other fingers are on the back. And with my right hand, I just stitch. Put the needle in here, pull it through, put it back in with my right hand and pull it through. With my those two fingers, I don't know the English words for those two fingers, but yeah, those two fingers. I kind of guide my needle. I put them in place so that my needle stitching in from the front is not hitting them, but is hitting in between the fingers. And when I'm trying to find my hole from the back with my right hand, I also kind of guide my right hand with the fingers of the left, so I find the right hole. Also, I can, this finger, if I stretch it, I can hold my fabric and see everything I need, and it does not fall right off, but I can hold it out and see what I'm doing. So that's basically the way I stitch. That's all. So it's kind of convenient because I do not need to take anything with me. I just take my roll and start stitching. So yeah, that's kind of the way I like to stitch. It can get complicated with longer rolls because of course then the fabric kind of falls off. So in my stitching chair I have kind of high armrests, which I like because I can then put the fabric on the armrest and have some additional holding system on here, and it's easier to stitch that way. But yeah, that's everything. If you have any more questions about my stitching style or anything else, just pop it in the comments. I will answer it. It might take 1 or 2 videos, but I will definitely answer all of your questions. Just ask me. Okay, one more thing for cross stitching before we move on to crochet. I have some haul after a whole lot of time. Not the most exciting piece, but yeah, I have some haul. As I said, my cross stitch pieces, my whoops, are presently in a shelf, not really protected, and I have an idea of putting some fabric over there, and I went to a fabric store and got myself some fabric. And while I was there, I was searching through everywhere because you never know if you find some yarn or some something for stitching. They only have a really small stitching area, a bit more yarn, but I did find something. Fabric for embroidery and punch needle, which basically is an even weave, but an 18 count even weave, which I have never had before. So I was kind of curious about that and decided to just take it with me. I have no project in mind or anything like that. I just found it and thought, why not take it with me and try someday? As I said, I do not have any project in mind at all. Just thought it would be interesting. So I'm putting that away to my other fabric stash and probably forgetting about it until I need some fabric for a new project. Okay, that's basically been it. So now let's move to crochet. 2 videos back, I asked about your opinion. About your opinion, because I want to crochet myself some curtains, and I had found a pattern I really liked, and I stitched it with 2 different needles. So I got 2 different sizes. And I asked you about your opinions and what you think. So first of all, thank you everyone for answering and telling me what you like. In the end, I decided to take someone, I'm sorry, I should have looked up the name, but I took someone's suggestion and actually going to do that. The smaller one I'm going to take for my bathroom because it's not as see-through and still looks kind of good, so I'm going to take that for my bathroom. For the kitchen, I'm going to take the larger one because it's more see-through, and while I'm standing there and cooking, I can actually look out, which is always interesting. So yeah, I'm going to stitch both. So I also don't have to throw one of those away that I already crocheted to see what I liked. So I will use both, but I'm first of all going to start with the ones for my bathroom. To actually get progress on that, I decided to go with 1 hour of crochet every day. But last week I did not start with my curtains. I did start with something else because a friend of mine, he and his wife are going to get their first baby any moment now. So I thought I would make the baby something. Here we go. That's a dinosaur, and basically he's very sleepy, and his sleepiness is a little bit contagious. So I thought it would be a nice gift for a newborn and also for the parents, because newborns don't necessarily like to sleep a whole lot. So yeah, I thought it would be a nice gift. I think he's super cute. So that's him. If you want the pattern or I bought it very cheap, but I bought it. I forgot the page. Tina's Häkel Boutique, I think. It's German. So if you want the pattern, as I said, it's a German pattern. But if you do like it, just tell me in a comment or write me a private message on Instagram or wherever you want. And I will tell you where I actually got the pattern because it's super cute. And that's actually the baby dino. There is one for the parent as well, and he's much bigger, but I thought this size would be fine. And I would be finished way sooner. So yeah, if you need any more details, just tell me. He can actually stand as well, but he prefers to sleep. So yeah, that's them. That's him. And I actually finished him with that 1 hour of crochet, finished him in 5 days. So that's really nice as well. So then on Saturday, I actually started with my next crochet piece. As I said, I'm going to stitch the small one first for the bathroom, and I started with that. I'm in row number 8 of 10, and yeah, it has to be blocked after I'm done with stitching, but I'm getting close to finishing my first one. Not sure if I'm going to show you every time or if I'm just telling you where I'm at the moment, how many I've done. We will see that in my next video. So far, I do not know. Okay, that's been it. It's been long enough, I think. I hope you liked and enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me a like, subscribe, a comment, whatever you want. I'm happy about everything. And yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next Monday. Bye!